Absolutely unreal. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the West Ham Way YouTube channel. You already know who I am. West Ham have just beaten Wolverhampton Wanderers 4-0 at home in a devastating performance. Jared Bowen getting the first goal with a brilliant finish, latched onto that 4-0 shot onto the bar and scored from the rebound. Tommy Soucek, although I think it was an own goal in the end, scored, and Sebastian Haller obviously capped off that performance with a fantastic header from a great Arthur Masuaku delivery. I am more than happy for any of you to come on now. I've put the link in the chat, so if you want to come on, have your say, speak about the game. It was a fantastic performance from West Ham, so I mean, come on, and you can do so. Let's line up a few people to come on. Come on, you irons. Danny Hymas, what a game. Yeah, brilliant, mate. I didn't expect it at all, really. I thought West Ham had to match Wolves in terms of their system. We dominated the midfield, which was a key area. They couldn't get past us. We sat quite deep. The fullbacks did a fantastic job as well in their defence, and I just think it made it difficult for Wolves to create any chances. And West Ham, went on to win. So brilliant. I'm just absolutely buzzing, to be fair. Have a look. 3 of you's on. What do any of you think of the game? What are we saying? 3 points as well. 3 vital points. A clean sheet. It's unbelievable from West Ham. We did really, really well tonight. Really, really impressed with that. I can't even. To be fair, like normally after these games, I'm like, there's something negative. There's something that could have gone wrong. But again, tonight I just thought we were superb. Played really well. We were just solid defensively. We created chances. We did everything right. We did absolutely everything right that we needed to do. And tonight was absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, massively buzzing with that. Let's bring on Dennis, shall we? Private chat. Come on, you ones. Exactly, mate. Right, let's get to it, mate. Unreal performance from West Ham United. I am slightly West Hammed out, but that has made my day.
I mean, yeah, earlier today I said that, so I got a bit of feedback there. Earlier today, I did say this would be the game that if we were to win, we were going to win. And none of us could predict that, but, Iron Bowen, as West Ham clips like to call him, really turned it on today. So, I'm absolutely buzzing. I mean, the only slight negative is now this might delude David Sullivan and I think that we have no problems, but screw it. We've beaten a European standard team 4-0. Let's not let that bastard get us down.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly.
It was a good performance. You could argue Wolves weren't at the races, but my God, maybe that's because we marked them out of the game. Rice again dragging the team forward through the middle of the park. Soucek robbed of a goal, but other than that, it was the perfect performance, really.
Yeah, like honestly, mate, like it's such a weird thing for me after a game to not be able to find anything really negative about anything that West Ham have done. Like I just thought system-wise, it matched up perfectly with them. I thought Arthur did brilliantly tonight as well. Adama Traore didn't have a sniff at all. I think Wolves tried to change it as well. They brought Fabio Silva on to give a little bit of a creativity, a number 10 in there, but West Ham just, defensively were really solid, and we didn't give anything away to them.
Yeah, I mean, there was one moment you might have remembered it where they highlighted it early in the second half, and Glenn Hoddle was going like nuts in a good way over how good the defending position of Masuaku was to force Traore out wide and then just block what he had. And he goes, that's how you defend against someone like that. You don't let them build up ahead of speed. You get them inching up and down the cross touchline, as then when they get into position to cross, you just block it off. That was Masuaku's best game since the game I mentioned earlier today. Anyone who's watching this didn't best catch the writer's block every Sunday. But
Yeah,
so a little plug in there. But yeah, that was the best performance he's put in since that Southampton game, where he was just brilliant down the wing. He got an assist tonight. I mean, granted, you still do need a better left back, but if he plays like that every week, we can live with that.
yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we were a bit daunted going into it, but we matched them man for man. We marked Troy out of the game. I mean, we could have been 4-0 up at half time.
Yeah,
Patricio pulled off a ridiculous save in the first half. Fornell's fluffed his line, but admittedly that one probably would have been disallowed. And Antonio had another half chance that was well saved by Patricio. We could easily have been 4-0 up going into the break. We could easily have won that game 8-0.
The thing, like with West Ham, like we don't have natural creativity. It has to come from crosses. It has to come from men in the box. And like you see, particularly with Thomas Souček, I know that goal, I think it was the third goal. I think someone said it might have been an own goal, but even even his presence, like he could have scored 2 or 3 tonight. He had so many chances. That's how West Ham. That's how we need to play. We need to, just push men in the box. We need to attack with pace. I thought Bowen as well tonight was unbelievable, and his finishing as well for that goal was just unreal. It was at a top class.
Yeah, because I think that's on X and Dave's podcast. That's the thing they both say, is that the one thing they want is Bowen to up his finishing. He needs to bring a couple more goals into his game, and he's done that tonight. Hopefully he keeps it up. I mean, Leicester's going to be a tough game. I mean, they were very good against City, but admittedly it was 3 penalties that solved it. So it's City's own downfall that game.
Yeah.
Leicester are not unbeatable, but equally, also Vardy picked up a knock. He was went off limping with his groin. Yeah. Now, I don't want to wish injury or ill harm on anyone, but if Vardy wants to have a weekend off next week, I'd like that, because he loves scoring against us. So, I'd quite like Vardy to miss that game.
I think Leicester are a little bit of a different proposition. Like they are a different class. I think tonight from Wolves, we didn't see him try and get at us at all. I think they're a bit languid. Like I think we all expected the likes of Semedo and Adama Traore to light up that left-hand side, but I just think West Ham was solid. And when we got forward as well, the deliveries into the box, finding the front men. I thought Antonio as well tonight. He turned
the confidence he's carrying right now. I mean, he's a confidence player. He hasn't let the opening game's head drop. He got the equaliser against Arsenal. He may not have had the best game against Arsenal on the score sheet, and he didn't get on the score sheet tonight, but he was brilliant. I know we're all pining and we all really wanted Haller to start. Personally, I would have started Haller anyway, but I think Antonio justified starting up top on his own, because he was an absolute unit, as usual, and absolutely bossed it. That Seiss did not know where to turn.
No,
that's move when Antonio turned, and Seiss is a very good defender.
Yeah, the thing is with Seiss as well, against Manchester City, there was a few times where he pushed up too high, and his lack of pace, it causes him issues. And Antonio tonight played that perfect role where he was backing into him, and then he used his pace to turn him. And then we were seeing the likes of Bowen getting behind. I think we just looked a little bit more. We had a bit more of an attacking edge tonight. And I think even for Bowen's second goal, where he's running in to go, he's in that central position, he's ready to find that space. That's what West Ham need to do, is a counter-attacking side where we're going to sit back for periods. When we go forward, we've got to attack with numbers.
Yeah, and again, there was that confidence, having Fornells move into the middle as well, because he was obviously playing a slightly more central role. I know he lined up on the left on the team sheet, but he was cutting inside. Having him on the middle, and we were very, very right wing in our attacks, very focusing, gravitating towards Bowen.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you had the substitute appearances. So obviously Haller looked a bit annoyed in his celebration. I saw a couple of the comments in the watch along. He did look like he was a bit like, yeah, that's what I can do. Don't leave me on the bench. Yeah, hopefully that means that he gets a chance. I mean, but you don't change a winning team, and that team smashed it tonight. So
yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because before, when the lineups come out, I was like, I wanted Fornals off, Ale on, and Antonio down the wing. But I think tonight it worked well. I don't think Fornals had. I mean, he missed in my opinion, he missed quite an easy chance. I should have at least got it on target. There's always that argument, isn't it? Like, we're being picky. We just beat Wolves 4-0. Let's be honest. But maybe he could take more chances. Maybe we could see him, doing what Bowen does. But he just doesn't have the pace for it, mate. It's not his natural position. But tonight it's paid off in terms of the deliveries. We took our chances, and listen, I can't even criticise it. Normally, I've got loads of things to talk about and say, oh, why didn't we do this? But it was bang on.
Yeah. Like you said, you mentioned some negatives about 4-0, but at the end of the day, he got 2 assists tonight.
Yeah.
Two assists in one game. I think that win leaves us 11th. I mean, that's higher than I think we'd ever be all season, judging on how it's going to start. We're all doom and gloom, so let's just revel in it. Let's enjoy it. I mean, no early predictions for the Leicester game. Ball to be turned over after that, knowing how Sol's law goes. But it builds the confidence. The team, the players we do have. I mean, as much as I don't want to agree with what Sullivan said on TalkSport, but on TalkSport he did say we have got a good team tonight. We proved that we do have a good group of players. Just it's very paper thin when it comes to depth. And those on the bench, I mean, it was quite telling that he didn't even give Anderson a run out. Now, as much as we can talk about dithering Dave and his subs, could have thrown Anderson on for 10 minutes at 3-0. No harm done, but he didn't.
Yeah.
There's clearly some players that there might be an issue or they might be being moved on. I don't know. But equally, again, thought that just comes to my head, something that was said earlier on the show, is that dithering Dave again, when you've got a comfortable win, you make the substitutions very, very late on. We made those substitutions very late on. We could have given Antonio, could have rested it, given his hamstrings a rest. Could have taken him off with 15 minutes to go comfortably. Brought Haller on earlier, risking of an injury. Maybe that comes to bite us moving forwards.
Yeah, I've got to agree, mate. I was one of the ones that said 10, 15 minutes to go. Should have brought Anderson and Allaire on. And I mean, Allaire's done magnificently to get a goal in that short period of time as well. Fair play to him. The only thing I can think of in my head is, and it sounds a bit weird, but they just see him as a cup team. We've got the Carabao Cup on Wednesday. Maybe like it suits him at the moment. One team for them and one team for another. Yeah,
I mean, it could be. I mean, when you think about it, some teams think of it as it's very commonplace for there to be cup goalkeepers, such as look at City, look at Chelsea. Willie Calabero always starts in goal from the cup now. But then when you have a cup striker, then suddenly that's a bit taboo. He scores in the cup. Hang on, why is he starting in the league? So there is an element of that, which maybe Moyes is being a bit ahead of his time, maybe with that. But I would rather, if in my heart of hearts, I'd rather beat Everton on Wednesday with Haller, Anderson, Lanzini playing, and most of the game, than have Haller come on 10 minutes more in the league game. For the sake, he scored his goal, which is what I wanted. I mean, but if he then turns it on against Everton, which would be tough. I mean, Everton would be foolish not to take it seriously with the team they've got. Everton, well, us if we get a cup. I mean, I'm not predicting we're going to win a cup at all. Please don't anyone quote me on that. But let's just say we win a cup. In my opinion, I think that would be a bit of a false dawn in that we're not there yet. Whereas Everton, I think, could do with a cup to move on to that next level. Whereas we need to move on to the level that Everton are at before we can start thinking about winning cups, in my understanding. However, so that's why I think Everton will probably be taking this fixture, be like, look, okay, West Ham's cup team, they still have a very good team. They put out a strong team as well. Who knows? It could be that we are just playing very well against League One teams and we shit the bed when we play Everton. Maybe. Who knows? But let's not worry about that. We just beat Wolves 4-0. Dennis, stop being negative.
You're a West Ham fan. That's what it's about, mate. Like, we're looking into the next game and thinking, oh, God. It would be typical West Ham to go and lose 5-0 or whatever in the week. But, I mean, let's forward, like, as a last thing, to this Leicester game Sunday. Needless to say, we stick with the same team. I mean, surely we have to just stick with the same players that have done a good job in the 2 games.
Or if Haller scores a double hat-trick against Everton, maybe the question needs to be asked. Or if he scores 2 against Everton, because it's like the argument is he scored 2 against Hull and Charlton. Yeah, it's a different question, but you don't change a winning team in the manner of fact. I mean, Diop, I don't know how long Diop's got to isolate for. Diop, in theory, could be back. I don't know how Matt Sharpie's going to be after that. However, again, don't faint. I think Cresswell had a good game. I'm going to praise Cresswell. I think Cresswell had a good game. I think everyone had a good game. And therefore, I think it'd be very harsh to drop anybody. Unless there's an injury in training, I can't see anything changing for Leicester. I mean, it's going to be a different prospect, hopefully, and I kind of feel bad saying this, but hopefully Vardy's out because Vardy loves scoring goals against West Ham. But ultimately, it'll be interesting, and it'll be hopefully be at least an entertaining game. So,
fingers crossed, mate. Listen, thanks for coming on. You're a regular. I'll see you. I'll see you probably whenever I see you. Probably Wednesday, mate. To be fair.
See you in a bit, mate.
Yeah, take care.
Cheers, bye.
Right, next one up. Of course, it's Darren. Of course, it is. How are we doing, Darren? You all right, mate?
Good. How are you doing, Corey?
I'm buzzing, mate. I'm really happy. Do you know what? It's the first time in a long time I haven't had to think of something negative to say. I kind of watched it and went, "There's nothing. There's no issue defensively. We were good going forward. We were good. We took our chances. I can't find a bad area of the pitch. To be fair."
This is what it feels like to be a fan of most of the other teams in the Premier League, huh?
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, but we don't. Hey, you have nothing to talk about if we keep doing this every week, though.
Oh yeah, no, we got to get bad again. Surely, I'm kind of imagining West Ham sort of flop against Everton, listen, mate. I mean, it's a good performance against Arsenal. We built on that with the same system against Wolves tonight. You know, it's a positive for West Ham. It really is. Like, we are finding that the right team with the right players now.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I mean, it's so important, like, you know, celebrating wins or celebrating losses when we nearly win. We're really good at that. We needed that result tonight to follow up because we know with the next, I think it's Leicester, Man City, and then Fulham. Yeah. And I think last week when Dan was on the show, he was saying, like, you know, realistically, the Fulham game could be the first points we pick up. You know, if we had no points going into Fulham, I mean, they're the ones who's looking forward to playing us. We ain't looking forward to playing anyone at that stage. So I think tonight was just, you know, it's huge. I think it's huge. I mean, you look at the bottom of the league there, and you know how hard it is to get off there. No matter what time of the year it is, if you're stuck down there, you get no luck. The heads are down, and you know it's huge. 3 points, it's huge. And even at this early stage, the goal difference, like, you know, we got 4 goals tonight. That's not going to happen too often for us either.
Yeah, it's a crazy one, mate. To be fair, like, I think we've kind of stumbled on a system that works, and I said this in previews and videos and all this kind of stuff, but it sort of minimises the weaknesses that we had. I think Fredericks did okay tonight. I thought a few times he's gone up way too far and he's left space in behind. I think it sounds bad, but almost the right time for Johnson to come on and just sit quite deep, and it just gave us a little bit of solidity. But what I would say is, and the warning word is, we won't come up against Wolves every week. You know, that team likes to sit deep. You know, they've got a limited midfield of like Moutinho, Neves. You know, they look to play on the width. You know, and if you put them out there, they're not going to get through. Leicester's a different ball game, mate. They're going to put Castagne's going to bomb on. Maddison will find spaces as he did today against Man City. That's going to be a real tough game.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. But I mean, it's great to go into it with the confidence of today. You know, you can only beat what's in front of you, and none of us seen that happening. So
I'm still not over it, really, to be honest.
No. And you know, it's great because it's coming on the back of like the cup run, and hopefully Wednesday. I really think it's such a West Ham thing to happen that we get to a cup final and there'll be no supporters allowed in.
Yeah. Oh no, a cup final. I don't know about a cup final, mate. I'd love it. I absolutely would, but it wouldn't be a typical West Ham thing.
Oh, really would. And I mean, like, you know, let's be honest. What are we now? Last 16?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're not too far off.
Yeah, I mean, what I'd love to see happen is obviously love us to beat Everton, and you know, at what stage would Moyes tinker with the cup team if we keep winning?
God, yeah. Can you imagine?
Imagine that headache.
But this is the thing, though. I think this suits him down to the ground at the moment, where he's like, this is my cup team. This is what I think he thinks. This is my cup team and this is my Premier League team. And I think at the moment, and I think a couple of people pulled it up on the chat as well. They said, Ale looked miserable when he scored. I know he kind of does anyway, but if you actually look at it, right, he scored goals against Charlton and Hull, fair enough. Premier League game, literally a couple of minutes, he scored a goal. So it's a brilliant goal anyway. The header's top draw. And you kind of look at it and think, he does deserve a bit more of a chance. He really does. I mean, I would like to have seen him out there tonight, to be fair.
Yeah, well, he deserves a chance when we're 3-0 up and the only other striker we have has dodgy hamstrings. You know, you gotta be protecting Antonio at all costs now. And the best way to do that would have been maybe 70 minutes, Haller to come on, or even 65 minutes to, give Antonio the break and also let Haller get on there and fight for his place, because if he does the usual kind of foreigner throw a strop, puts the head down and doesn't put it in, we're not in a good place with only one striker. Yeah,
that's the thing, and like that's why I want a striker in this window. I think that's so important. Like I did a video today. I did a video with a Chelsea fan, and I was like, well, if you're asking me who I'd want from Chelsea, I'd take someone like Tammy because of the striker elements of it. He was like, there's no way you're getting Tammy. Maybe not, but if that's a bargaining chip for Rice, who I thought did well again tonight, that's 100% what I would look at.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we should be the ones deciding the deal, not Chelsea. We have the prize asset that they're after, and we're quite happy to keep him. So if they're looking for us, if they're looking for Rice, they need to be producing some serious money or some serious players. I just worry about players wanting to come to us. I think that's a big problem at the moment. If you're, if you're a young player looking at maybe the Euros next year, are you going to take that chance and come to us? And
Yeah, and I think as well, like with a performance like that, and I think Dennis said it as well, when you play that well and the owners look at it, so they go, do we need anyone? I'm like, well, of course we need anyone. The only reason we're playing this system is because we don't have anybody. So you kind of think, I hope West Ham, we just get a few decent signings in. I hope we don't need it late. We need to act this week, mate, because I've got a feeling Chelsea will start bidding this week.
Yeah, especially after their performance as well. Like, they were, they were lucky enough getting back from 3-0 down, but they're not going to be happy at all. And I mean, they have the money. Rice will go because who can blame him? But I'd love to see us do. Well, he's not even in a cup team that we're going to win the cup with,
Yeah. Oh God, do you imagine?
I'd love to see them do a deal with Chelsea where they might get 1 or 2 loans in, and Rice signs for them next season.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, do you know what though? It was interesting because I did the interview and he said Chelsea haven't actually done a player swap deal since like William Gallas. I was like, that was years ago. He was like, yeah. I was like, that's just their model. They just don't do it.
Yeah.
So that's the concerning thing for me. But I suppose we've just got to enjoy what we've got now. I mean, looking to Leicester, is it the same for you? Keep the same team, just don't change your winning team.
I do think so. I mean, you don't change a winning team unless you have to. But what do we do with Diop as well? Because I'm not sure Creswell will get as much change out of that Leicester attack.
No.
Especially if Vardy's in there and that. I'd be concerned. I know I was saying earlier, maybe Balbuena in for Creswell. I know I know it's putting him a little bit out of his position, but I just think he's a better. He's a better player in any position than Creswell is in any position. But and I just think he's gone. Whatever with that injury, and and he works in the tree because he has help. And I think Fredericks works because he has help. As you were saying, he bombs on up there and sometimes gets out of position. But you've got that kind of behind you that he's got that kind of help there. Whereas we get caught with the two of them, left back and right back. We don't have the cover for them, and we're just lost. So he definitely has to keep the 5. Whether Diop comes in, I don't know. I mean, he will be available because his 10 days quarantine be up, so that will give.
Oh, okay. So maybe we'll see Josh Cullen against Everton. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I hope so. He deserves to keep a spot in the cup team anyway.
God, yeah. Do you know what though, mate? It's actually refreshing. I don't have to complain about West Ham for once in about a month now. So I feel relieved. I feel finally like a normal football fan again.
Absolutely, and I think what you were saying was true actually, because Moyes set him up there tonight to do a job, and every single player on that Wolves team were absolutely cancelled out.
Yeah.
And like at one stage you had three players on Traore. He still managed to get some type of a cross in, but they crowded him out so well. It was like such a man marking job on the players, and you can't fault what what's rare is wonderful, and you just can't fault that performance tonight anywhere on the pitch at all. And the manager, we have to give some credit to as well.
Got it, but we have to, yeah. I mean, listen, man. Thanks for coming on once again. I'm sure I'll speak to you on Wednesday probably for the Everton watch along.
Yeah, sure. Listen, enjoy the show. Take care.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Take care.
All right, come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons. Right, next one. He's been waiting a while. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
You all right?
Yeah, fine. Well, delighted after that result, mate. I don't think any of us were expecting it. I hoped we'd actually give Wolves a game for once because, since promotion, they've played us 4 times. They've beaten us every time, and it's been quite easy for them. Even the first one where they won in the last minute, they dominated that game. So it's nice for us to actually give them a game, and obviously do more than that, and win easily with the 4 goals. So, and
yeah.
As you've said to the chaps earlier, for every player to play well and to make Wolves, who are a very, very good side, finished 7th last 2 seasons, to make them look at an average team is a testament to how well the players played today and how well we were set up.
Yeah, I think there's got to be huge credit to the system, 100%, because I think we were all thinking that maybe, what Dave's like, he'll change it and chop it and things like that. But fair play to him, he kept the same system. I thought having the wing backs as well, I thought they both did well. I thought Masuaku did brilliantly. You got to give credit to him, and I think now's the time to give Masuaku a run of games in the team, because, like you saw at the end, even with that assist for Allaire, he offers so much going forward. He will improve defensively as well in that system, so no brainer to just keep him in.
Yeah, well, I feared after the Newcastle game we wouldn't get any points from this run of games simply because I thought Moyes would keep that same formation and keep the same personnel, albeit the personnel's not changed a huge amount. Obviously, Masuaku's come in, but the formation change, it suits our players. As you mentioned about Masuaku, who's been fantastic last 2 games. I think Fredericks has been a lot better. Yeah, I think he played a lot better as a wing back rather than a full back. And obviously having Rice and Souček in the middle as well, having 3 centre halves. I mean, Cresswell's been better than usual. Still not convinced by him. Don't get me wrong, but I think having a 3 in the middle helps. And Fabianski's getting back to full fitness, which is a great sign. So I can't fault any of the players tonight. And it's good on Moyes that he's changed it and it suits our players. Just hopefully we can get the same level of performance for the next few games. We have still tough run fixtures, but I'm more confident we can maybe nick a point or 2 here or there, which sets us up for the likes of Fulham, Sheffield United, Villa in November.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I think Wolves were quite poor tonight. In fairness to them, they didn't really think they didn't try and get in behind. I think a few times before the game, I was like, they've got Semedo on, they've got Adama on, and Adama's played much better in that sort of right wing position. Did it well against Sheffield United.
Yeah.
He didn't have a sniff tonight, and I think I don't want to speak too highly. Yeah, it was a good performance, but the system worked, and it worked against them. Against Leicester, Leicester will push high. Castagna will have a bit of pace. Vardy, if he's fit as well. Harvey Barnes, they're going to offer something a little bit more. But credit to Moyes, he's got his spot on tonight.
Yeah, I think I've not seen. I think someone in the comments put earlier about Wolves play poorly. I haven't seen it. Yeah, and absolutely right. I've not seen them play that poorly for a while. But I think we made them look poor with the formation. We're obviously matching up against them. And the fact that Antonio obviously didn't score, but what performance he put in, and the three centre-halves, particularly Connor Cody, who's obviously been recently capped by England. I've not seen them defend so badly. They're usually with Wolves under Nuno Espirito Santo. They're very solid. Don't concede a lot of chances. Rui Patricio is a fantastic goalkeeper. So to score 4 past them is a brilliant effort, and it even could have been even more. So and it wouldn't have flattered us. So for us to get the goals, and they barely create anything as well. So and our defence deserved a clean sheet, as mentioned, Fabianski, and Balbuena come in tonight. I don't think Moyes fancies him particularly, but he was an absolute tank at the back, wasn't he, tonight? Obviously, Ogbonna, as usual, Cresswell's pretty good as well, and the wing backs we've mentioned, and good support in the middle with Rice and Souček as usual. So it was obviously attacking wise. It will get the headlines, and rightly so. But for us to be defensively solid, when's the last time we said that? It's been a while. So all facets of our game really come together. We're gonna need it for the next few games, particularly Leicester. They're on fire tonight. Spurs should have won easily against Newcastle. That would be quite difficult. And then obviously Man City and Liverpool again for 2 very tough games. So, but it's still a tough run of games. That's sort of but I'm more confident if we put this level of performance in, we can maybe nick a point here or there, which, as I say, sets us up for the November games, which on paper are quite easy. But the thing is, tonight, our level of performance was a little bit better than last week, but we were ruthless with the chances.
Yeah.
We took the chances we had, which we didn't, which was probably the only thing missing from last week. So for the players to improve on that was obviously brilliant to see.
Yeah, it just has to be the way that we've got to move going forward. We have to just stick with the system. I think we've all touched on it with a few of the people that have come on. It's about we've minimised those weaknesses. Like we all know, Cresswell isn't a natural left centre back. Arguably next week he could come up against some problems, but I just think we've got putting Arthur on that left wing back position. He's better pushing forward. His delivery's a bit better. Fredericks as well. There's so many elements of the team, but also the fact that the team were getting forward when we had the chance to do so. And I think sometimes we're a bit guilty of sitting back too far and not creating enough. But it seemed tonight that the minute we got into that, their half, it was like, right, Antonio was going and Bowen was going, and we got our goals and we deserved it.
Well, that's the thing. If you're playing 3 at the back, 5 at the back, you've got to transition quickly from backwards to front in a quick amount of time. The amount of counter-attacks that we had tonight and last week as well, it was great to see. I mean, the problem with Moyes playing this formation in his first spell, we were far too slow and passive getting from defence to attack. And the amount of times where, Marko Arnautovic was on his own and the next player was 50 yards behind him, I lost count how many times that happened, mate. So, but whereas now Antonio is on his own, but he's got Fornals and Bowen obviously near him. Souček, those runs from deep, getting in the box. So obviously the wing backs are getting high and wide and putting crosses in early. And no wonder we're obviously more threatening when we're not fucking about with the ball near the box. We actually
I know. Do you know
what
it was interesting, mate, because I think Noble come on, didn't he, last 4 or 5 minutes, and he got the ball and he just played it sideways. I was like, listen, Noble, this is why you're not playing, because every time we get the ball, when we get the ball, we need to just go. We can't afford to, if we're going to counter-attack sides, that transition is so important. And I thought Rice did well today, and Souček, in terms of getting that ball forward and moving forward quickly as well.
Yeah, it's quick tempo, and even at the boys at the back. I mean, Balbuena is he's not brilliant on the ball, but he just kept it simple, head up, pass it to the players who can pass the ball properly, and that's what you got to do. Play it simple, pass forward, intensity, running from deep, early crosses, and obviously the more shots on goal, the more likely you'll score. Yeah,
I mean, what are we saying? We're keeping the same team against Leicester. I mean, we can't change a winning team, surely.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing, obviously, Diop, I don't think he's been in great form. So on that basis, I wouldn't put him in. But he's got that bit of pace, which obviously Jamie Vardy will lick his lips against Balbuena, Ogbonna, and Cresswell. So, I mean, if it was just selection only, I'd keep the same team. But I think Diop, as I say, he's got that pace, which will help against Vardy. But he's been, I don't think he's been that great this season. Diop, obviously, it's early on. So, I'd just certainly keep the same formation, personnel. I don't think I'd change a huge amount, to be honest.
Yeah, the only one I'm always on the sort of edge about is Sebastian Haller. He got his goal tonight in a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
I just think he just offers that finishing ability. He's great in the air. And I think if you've got Antonio and Bowen beside him, you've got the mobility, he's got the support. He should be able to, latch onto a chance or have some space in the box. So I'd like to see him potentially. But, I mean, you can't change the team. Do you know what I mean? It's difficult. Even Fornals, I don't think particularly suits that left wing position that he picks up. But, I mean, his work rate's good and it worked tonight.
Yeah, and it's the same. I was thinking about Fornals. Do you think, well, he's probably the more likely candidate to make way for Haller or Yarmolenko or someone, but his work rate is really good. He's frustrating on the ball because he can give the ball away at times, but then he'll win it back. And then his assist was awesome for the first goal, and obviously hit the post through Bowen's second. So just when you think, oh, what's he contributing, or we should take him off, he will then come up with something in his, as you say, unnatural position. So but again, I don't think anyone played bad. If they're all pretty good. So I wouldn't, on that basis, I wouldn't make any changes whatsoever.
Yeah, we'll just keep Moyes at home for a little bit longer, just so we can pick up some form.
It'd be interesting to see if anything did change in training this week. I'm sure X will let us know on the West Ham.
Probably definitely something, because you don't go from 2-1 against Arsenal to 4-0 against Wolves. So I think we keep this up. Then Moyes can put his feet up at home. Yeah, watch a bit of Coronation Street, chill out, have a cup of tea, mate. No worries at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, mate, pleasure having you on. First time you've been on, extra time as well. You're welcome back anytime.
Yeah, man, come on again. Thanks a lot for having us, mate.
Nah, no worries, mate. Take care.
Nice one. See you later.
See you later, mate. Right, that is it. That is it for extra time. A short one this week. We're good to get a couple of guests on. Obviously, Darren was on, Bill for the first time, and Dennis, of course. I will be back. Not live, but I'll definitely be back for a video reaction of what we learned against Wolves, which was a lot of positives, to be fair. And then I'm doing an Everton preview for the Carabao Cup this week. I'm doing a Leicester Fan TV preview as well. Probably do that about Wednesday. I've got a Chelsea video coming up about Declan Rice, and I'll do my own preview as well on the Leicester game, which I'm looking forward to it, but I'm feeling a little bit optimistic than I was previously. But that is it for this week. Thank you so much to phoning in. Thank you so much to watching. Make sure you like as well. You 11 that are still here, like it. If you're new, subscribe. And until next time, obviously, everyone, come on, you irons.